Hello everyone, and welcome to Normal Driver versus F1 Esports Qualifier. So after the first F1 Esports qualifying event then, I had to go myself, realised that I was very average now, quite a long way off the pace, so I thought I'd get a lap of, or a run rather, of one of the top guys, and in fact we've got Fabrizio Donoso in the top right there and me in the bottom left, and he was one of the top guys. I think he ended up second on PC. PC tends to be one of the most competitive just because it's full of sim races, and yeah, and I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison for myself, for my YouTube channel, maybe a little bit because the last video that I did on this got 1.5 million views, but we'll ignore that part. But anyway then, so already underway as you can see, and already Fab, as we'll call him, is quite a long way ahead. The best way to judge it is the overhead advertising banners. They're obviously always in the same place, so you can judge quite nicely. Look at that, already probably over a second up on me, and we're only about halfway through the first lap. Huge amount of time. And as I mentioned, you know, I feel I'm very average now. I don't play the game much. You know, I just realistically, full-time job, don't have the time to commit to practice and to learn, and these guys, you know, do play a lot of hours in the game and become really very good at it. You know, practice makes perfect, as with anything. So yeah, I was quite happy with my performance, funnily enough. You know, I knew I wasn't going to be top, but it came at the end of it, like, I thought that felt okay. Yes, it's not perfect, there's definitely some time to be had, but it felt okay. And I was a long way off, like a really long way off. These guys' pace is incredible, and you see that Fab coming through the hairpin, and me only just coming through it now, and I was actually having to defend from Vettel a little bit, just being a bit conscious of him down the back straight, whereas Fab just didn't care. Vettel was way too far back for him to even think about. And you can see on the left hand side there, we are going to get now some lap times, and his first lap was a 34.0, mine was a 36.0. That's over 2 seconds difference in one single lap, and that's incredible. Like, that is, it's ridiculous. 2 seconds in a lap, you know, 2 seconds over the whole run. You know, I could be like, yeah, fair enough, that's definitely time on the table. 2 seconds in a lap, where do I find 2 whole seconds? You know, again, I felt fairly happy with my run. I am capable of beating the 110, the hardest top level AI on this game. So, you know, I feel reasonably fast, and I am using a setup. What I tend to do is use one of the very top setups in time trial, then tweak it a little bit to my liking, make it a bit more stable for the car that I'm driving, because, of course, the top of time trial times will be for a different car, normally Mercedes. And, well, let's just figure out why. Let's have a good look through the differences. You'll see, first of all, in the bottom right hand of Fab's screen, that he is constantly adjusting his ERS and his fuel usage. Basically, he's emulating what happens in real life, where, you know, as the car builds up speed, they do lots of ERS deployment at the beginning of the straight, and then just back it off as they get towards the end of the straight. That's basically exactly what they do, which is what he's doing. He's basically just emulating that. Unfortunately, you do have to do that with this game. You don't really, you know, the modes just don't emulate real life enough. They don't ever emulate the best speed, so you have to do that quite a lot. I'm not doing that. I was aware that was a possibility, and then that's what I should be doing, but again, just lack of practice. You know, I just wanted to concentrate on my driving. I knew that was what I should be doing, but just didn't have the time to get it right or to figure out what I should be doing, so just left it. You know, I tweak it here and there to make sure I use all my battery over the course of this run. You see my battery level, which is the blue bar on the bottom right. That will go up and down, but by the end of my run it will be pretty much empty. And you see in the top right there, Fab is already all over Lewis Hamilton. I'm some way back, and that is the event. For those of you who don't know, this is F1 Esports event. Just to see Fab dive up inside Hamilton there, which he luckily gets out of the way. And these events, basically, they're points-based events, and those points are based on your overall time in the run. You get 6 laps in this particular one. Your best lap time, whether you've got any penalties, so obviously you need no penalties, how high a difficulty level you're running on, so obviously you want to be on the hardest difficulty level, and whether you're running any assists. Which again, obviously you want no assists. So most of those are fixed. For the top guys, you know, they won't even consider assists and things. So really, what you're really looking at is, oh, and of course the objective is to beat Hamilton, as I mentioned. So you have to do that to even be on the leaderboard. But yeah, as I said, realistically, the top guys have most of that static. They're obviously going to beat Hamilton, as Fab has already done, and I'm quite a way back from him still. But really, all they care about is lap times. So, you know, they want their best lap time, and they also want a really nice, consistent run. And basically every single lap has to be a qualifying lap. They really have to push so hard, and it just has to be perfect. And actually, you know, obviously I've seen the lap times, and all of Fab's laps I think they're within a tenth or so of one another, maybe slightly more. Mine are a little bit more varied, and I do actually find a bit of pace. See the top left there, that's the lap 2. That was, of course, the previous lap we just finished, or we're just finishing rather. And yeah, I managed to get under a second, so I gained a couple of tenths on him. And as we come to the end of this lap now, we will get a new gap. We are managed to keep Vettel behind. I was struggling a little bit to keep Vettel behind. And well, there we go, 1.7 seconds that lap. So clearly there is a bit of time on the table for me to gain. I am starting to gain time a little bit, but still now the overall gap, 5.7 seconds. 5.7 seconds. So much time. We've only done 3 laps and he's nearly 6 seconds up on me. Crazy amount of time. And obviously, again, just to illustrate how quick these top guys are, you know, Fab and the other top guys, is obviously, this is in a Renault. We're driving a Renault and we're keeping Sebastian Vettel behind us. Sebastian Vettel is also on the soft tyres, I believe. Oh no, I think he might be on mediums actually. Can't quite see from my angle. Yes, he is on the mediums. So he is, you know, he's in a much quicker car. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, we're keeping him behind. In real life, with my particular driving, you may not be buzzing. So wow, we're keeping a Ferrari behind. This is obviously the 2018 F1 game because the 2019 one isn't out yet. So, you know, there was quite a big gap between Renault and Mercedes, wasn't there, last year, on Ferrari rather. And yeah, I'm keeping behind him and I'm gaining on Lewis Hamilton ahead. So 2 of those things, Renault would be absolutely over the moon with. And again, I've got on the highest level of AI difficulty. So Renault would be so happy with that. So clearly, you know, I felt like I had reasonable pace. But these guys are on another level. They live on a different planet. As you can see, he's just coming up to Verstappen there. I think Verstappen might have made a mistake. Fortunately for Fab, he didn't get DRS on Max Verstappen. That would have annoyed him a little bit. He would be expected to get DRS, I think. And yeah, and I will say as well, this wasn't quite his top run. When I messaged him, I said, you know, your run's amazing, man. Please, can I use this for my channel? He said, yeah, of course. He was a really nice guy, it seems, and he was very supportive of what I wanted to do, which is great. And he said, but no, unfortunately, I didn't record it, or I think the recording was a dodgy one or something like that. So then he said, no worries, I'll record another one for you. And I was like, oh, okay, casual. I'll just casually do another one that's 2 seconds a lap faster than you. And he did. Fair play to him. He spent, you know, don't know how long actually, but probably a few hours recording and got this video to me. So big thank you to Fab for sorting me this footage. And yeah, kind of a big thank you, but also it's kind of depressing just seeing how slow I am. I mean, look at him. He's almost at the end of the second sector, and I am now just sort of halfway through the second sector, really. We are closing on Lewis Hamilton. Again, that is our objective. We have to beat Hamilton if we're going to be on the leaderboards at all. I think I had about two or 3 hours on this event. Again, full-time job. I didn't have the time, so had a bit of time on the event. And my first few attempts, I wasn't able to beat Hamilton full stop. Wasn't even able to complete the event, let alone be high up on the leaderboard. So, and yeah, obviously Fab has just overtaken Hamilton so long ago. Really crazy. Thinking about the other differences then, you will notice, I'm sure you will notice it some time ago, probably even left a comment about this, but work in progress, it does say at the top of Fab's screen. I asked him about that. That's because he runs a DirectX 12, I think it is, version of the game. I run the completely standard version. He runs a DirectX 12 version, which is sort of like a beta type version because it's not really it's not officially supported yet. You can see the bottom left there, just while I've got it on screen. I did exceed the track limits there, so that means I'll get a penalty. I've got a warning, so that means that I will lose some points at the end of it because of that. That's just how the event works. You need to get no warnings at all. But again, I wasn't too worried because I knew that it wasn't going to be challenging the top of the leaderboard. So, but yeah, so that is a minor difference. His colour's also different. I think he might have, perhaps just some different visual settings to me. He's certainly got a different camera angle to me. So a few differences there. But obviously, none of that affects the actual driving. None of that affects anything at all, really. All it really affects is how it looks. Nothing to do with the driving. So we can completely take that out of the equation. And he's just better than me. I mean, there's not really another way to put it. He is just significantly better than me. Some of the speed he's carrying through some of these corners, and the key thing for me is he's got absolute confidence to have the car floating around. I've never liked a floaty car. I always like it to be fairly planted. I don't mind a bit of oversteer, but if you're having to basically drift through the corners, that's not right for me. An F1 car should be planted in my mind. So I don't do well with that, and that's basically that's why he's got such good turning, such good rotation in the car, because he's able to sort of float it through these corners and get some really good rotation. And so he's coming to the end of my run, but we're going to have a look now at the bottom left of my run. You see, I just managed to get DRS on Hamilton. I was pushing very hard to get to him because, once again, we need to overtake him for this to be a complete run. Such as the Mercedes' straight line speed, but only just able to get to him with DRS. We're going to try and look. I was inside there, take a late lunge down to first gear, get it all slowed down as Fab comes to the end of his run. And now got a good exit. So we are now just ahead of Hamilton. I think we're going to do it round the final turn. Just try not to run too wide, but I do. Luckily, don't get a warning that time. And across the line then. So there it is. 12.1 seconds at the end. 12.1 seconds. That last lap was a bit slow. I was about half a second slower than that lap because obviously I had to overtake Hamilton. But there we go then. That's confirmation of the leaderboards there. There he is, Fabrizio Donoso in third. The top two guys are clearly cheaters. They get ignored in the final standings, so we can ignore those. But he was the top then. You see in the fourth place there, Veloce Formula Danny. He was last year a Mercedes driver. I should say Fabrizio as well last year, of course, did drive in F1 Esports as well. And yeah, he managed to improve. Veloce Formula Danny did manage to improve and jump up ahead of Fab before the end of the event. I think he got a 32.0 or something, 91.32.0, something like that. But anyway, yeah, and look how far down I am. 12 seconds off. Again, obviously my score's a bit lower because I did get that warning for corner cutting. But again, I didn't care. I wasn't going to qualify. And there it is. That is the difference. I felt like a fairly average driver. Nothing special, just pretty average. Happy to beat the AI. And again, in real life terms, a Renault driver just managed to catch and overtake a Mercedes driver. But I'm still 12 seconds, 2 seconds per lap off of the top guys. Incredible. And that just shows you these top guys, they are so good these days. And in order to get anywhere near them, you have to basically be an alien. I think you might see in ones and zeros or something. I'm not too sure, but these guys are insane. But anyway, once again, big shout out to Fab for letting me use this footage. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.